And finally, we get to a march for Patton. Lost for almost the entire 70 years since it was written. It's a march whose rediscovery is a story in itself. And we are most pleased and very honored to have here with us today the man who rediscovered it and then worked tirelessly to bring it back to life, both for the Third Army, the entire U.S. Army, and for us all to enjoy. Retired Army Colonel Lawrence A. Larry Devron. Colonel Devron is a 1967 graduate of the University of Rochester, where from 63 to 67 he attended the Eastman School of Music. While he was there, he had occasion to study under Dr. Howard Hanson. For those of you who know music, that's significant. From 67 to 70, he played horn in the U.S. Army Band, Pershing's Own. He has since played with the 257th Army Band, the D.C. Army National Guard Band. He was horn and brass section leader from 75 to 77. From 72 to 03, he played as freelance member of the American Federation of Musicians, Local 161-710 in Washington. With the Army, he served as transportation, military police corps regiments, the Virginia Army National Guard, Virginia Defense Force as regional commander. He retired in 2013. He currently works with the Army Contingency Operations, Records, and Scheduling Team. To tell you about discovering a march for Patton, the guy who did it, Colonel Larry Devron. Larry?
This is a very special night, and it's because of this wonderful band. How do you enjoy the concert? I'm here because I'm a witness. What am I a witness to? I'm a witness to an immigrant gentleman who came over from El Paso into El Paso, Texas, from Mexico, when he decided that he wanted to be a U.S. citizen. So what did he do? He joined the U.S. Army in 1924. Now General Pershing had just formed the United States Army Band, which they dedicated to him as Pershing's Own, and this band was started in 1922. George Patton served in World War I. Well, the connection here is the story of an immigrant lad who was probably underage, but got into the United States Army. He played clarinet well enough to get into a band, and then he played for probably 20 years, and then his unit, the 6th Cav, was sent to Germany. The reason I'm sharing this with you is because we're witnessing a very important moment. And that is, through the musicians here and you, we're keeping alive what was respectfully dedicated to Lieutenant General George S. Patton, Jr. and the gallant officers and men of the 3rd U.S. Army. That's what this march is about. So, we're here to continue that vision, to continue that respect, to continue. And I didn't get a chance to see how many people had served in World War II. Nasty, show of hands. And how many family members had family members serving in World War II? Okay. So, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to share the moment with a piece that was composed as a jubilation, as a celebratory moment in this young composer's mind that said, we're through, we've done what we had to do, we've completed this task, this momentous occasion, brought joy to him, and he wanted to share that with General Patton, and he said basically, we've composed a march for you, General Patton. And he said, well, you don't know, Patton had a different voice than George C. Scott. Well, we'll see about that. So he had him play the march, and the pictures you see outside are Patton with his traditional riding crop, proving it. The band had to prove it to the general that this was worthy. Not only was it worthy, but didn't want it named after himself, because that was the goal originally from Gregorio Diaz. He said, I want this to be respectfully dedicated to those who served in World War II with the 3rd U.S. Army. And now we have the 3rd Army March. And I'd like to continue to play. Maestro. Thank you very much. This is the maestro that brought it together. And I want to do one afterthought. Where's Tommy Warner? Tommy Warner. I took this piece, and I didn't take it out of the trophy case, but it was sitting in a trophy case, as you'll see outside, at 3rd Army Headquarters. Now, that 3rd Army Headquarters is now the U.S. Army Central Command. How many people have any relatives that have served in Afghanistan and Iraq over the last 12 years or 13 years? Show of hands. Thank you. Thank you. Army Headquarters, the legacy of the 3rd Army Band and the 3rd Army has passed to U.S. Army Central. And when I saw this piece of music sitting in a trophy case, along with the mace and the baldric and the flag of the 3rd U.S. Army Band, I asked the archivist, what does it sound like? I've never heard that. I know this march, the Patton movie theme, but I've never heard the 3rd Army March. What is it all about? What's it sound like? Well, we've never heard of it. What? Oh no, well, what do you play at ceremonies? Oh, we play the movie music from Patton. Wonderful. I think I have a mission. Well, I called upon the memory of Howard Hanson, our great composer who was picked by George Eastman in 1922 to head the Eastman School of Music and to develop that as a musical institution, supporting and providing and promoting American music. And he looked at us one day in 1963. How many people from New York? How many people from Scandinavia? What is Scandinavia? Well, he was about 78 years old. He looks at us at the convocation, and everybody's real quiet. This is Dr. Howard Hanson. 40 years ago, he founded the school. Music is a dead art. What? What? Wait, you could hear a pregnant pause. Remember that one? He said, but you must make it live. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight is what's happening with the 3rd Army March. It is living in Cary, North Carolina, the very first public performance of this march that was composed in 1945, April 10th, dedicated to the gallant officers and men and Lieutenant General George S. Patton, Jr. I give you the Cary Town Band.
Thank you, Larry. My notes say, thank you, Colonel Devron, but he's Larry. What he just gave me was a patch for 3rd Army. It really is a great honor to have you here with us this evening. In the lobby, you can see photographs on posters out there that he was talking about of Patton, of Chief Warrant Officer Diaz. They gave Diaz a bronze medal. Bronze Star. Why? It's hard to lead a band in the Army. It's harder to lead a band in the Army in war. For leading a band in war under Patton, you get a Bronze Star.